Welcome to day 5 of the 10-day beginner yoga challenge. Today's class is focused on finding your balance. We will be doing a series of standing balancing poses to explore equanimity, the state of mental balance and even-mindedness. We'll start standing today at the top of our mats in mountain pose. You have the option to bring big toes to touch, heels slightly separated, or maybe feet about hip-width distance for a little more stability. Option to close the eyes and send your thoughts to your feet. See if you can root down into the soles of the feet, focusing in on rooting down into the four corners. Maybe wiggle the toes. And then maybe you slightly shift the weight forward and back. Just notice how that subtle shifts changes the pose, changes the balance. Eventually, finding center, will begin to root down as you press down into the feet. Inhale, see if you can trace the breath as you lengthen up through the crown of the head, this time extending arms up overhead. And on your exhale, bring hands to heart center. Full breath in. And empty the breath out. This time we'll press into the feet, sweep the arms up overhead. You can interlace the fingers, then releasing the pointer finger. We'll take some spinal movements here. So you can start by maybe hinging from side to side. Option to draw circles or maybe figure eights on the ceiling. And starting small, maybe getting a little larger. If you're taking circles or eights, you can switch directions. About 1 or 2 more breaths here to even out. When you feel ready, we'll pause through center, press into the feet. See if you can inhale, lengthen up. Maybe lift your gaze, melt the chest up and out. 1 more full breath in. And on your exhale, release the bind, swan diving forward, forward fold. Find a ragdoll here. You can pedal out through the legs, shake the head yes and no. Maybe reach for opposite elbow or interlace hands behind the head or back. If you have that bind, release. We'll take a breath into halfway lift Ardha Uttanasana. Hands can come to shins or maybe hands to quads. On your exhale, we'll plant the hands, step back. We'll take it into a chaturanga, high to low plank or lower knees, chest, chin. Breath into upward facing or cobra. And on your exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Listening carefully. On your own time, walk your hands back towards your feet. We'll meet at the back of our mat in a forward fold. And slowly, as you're ready, we'll press into the feet. Inhale brings you up to standing. Head will come up last. Maybe shrug shoulders up towards the ears. And on your exhale, release Tadasana. Take a full breath in. And empty the breath out. Warrior 3. We'll start by bringing hands to hips. And step your right foot forward. Then come onto the toes of the left foot. Working to find a nice long line from the left big toe all the way through the crown of the head. You can stay here for the Warrior 3, or slowly begin to shift the weight into the right leg. Left toes begin to lift as you pivot the chest forward, again trying to maintain that nice long line from the left toes all the way through the crown of the head. Hands can stay to hips, or maybe hands can come to prayer, any other arm variation that you'd like. Continuing to tilt forward until you find the edge of the pose. Keep pressing down strong to the right leg, soft bend in the right knee. 2 more breaths. Slowly inhale, begin to hinge back up, bring the feet together, mountain pose. Dancer pose. Shifting the weight into the left foot this time. And bend your right leg, take your hand, and then extend the fingers out away from the body like you're holding a tray. Flip the thumb up towards the sky, and then reaching the right hand down for the inside of the right ankle. Knees together, hips are squared. Left hand can come to hip, or maybe you extend the left arm up overhead. You can choose to stay here, or begin to kick the right leg into the right hand as you slowly begin to hinge forward, maintaining the strength in both legs. About 2 or 3 more breaths here, using your gaze, your drishti, to find a point of focus to help with the balance. Staying with the breath. When you're ready, begin to kick back into the right hand, hinging back up. Release the right hand. We'll step the right foot forward. We'll make our way to tree pose. So left foot to the inside of the right leg. Sole of the foot is either below or above the knee, but never directly pressing on the knee joint. Hands can come to prayer to start. See if you can root down strong to the right leg to inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. On your exhale, can you root down, ground down? A few more breaths here. Option to extend the arms up overhead or take a bind. Maybe even explore with bringing the gaze up overhead. And working here to explore the evenness of the mind, even during times of uncertainty. And take another full breath in. And on your exhale, release the knee, point it towards the front of the mat, feet together, Tadasana. Full breath in. Full breath out. This time, press down into both feet, sweep the arms up overhead, maybe lift your gaze. And on your exhale, swan diving forward, forward fold. Take a breath into halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And plant the hands. You can step back, chaturanga if you'd like. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. If you're moving through that flow, we'll inhale to upward facing or cobra. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And empty the breath out. When you're ready, we'll walk our hands back towards our feet, meeting at the back edge of the mat in a forward fold. And your next inhale brings you up to standing. Head will come up last. Maybe shrug shoulders up towards the ears. And on your exhale, release mountain pose. One more time, full breath in. Open mouth. Can you let go of that first side? Can you let go of any expectation that this side will be exactly the same as the first? Starting over with fresh eyes, being present and giving it the care and attention that you did on the first. Starting with Warrior 3, hands to hips, shift the weight onto the left leg. Begin to hinge forward, point the right toes, finding that nice long line. Toes can stay grounded, or keeping that length, begin to hinge forward. Option to bring hands to prayer or any other arm variation. About 2 or 3 breaths here. When you feel ready, we'll slowly begin to hinge back up, feet together, mountain pose. When you're ready, we'll take dancer to the other side. Right foot grounds down and bend your left leg. Left hand catches the inside of the left foot or ankle. Knees together, hips are squared. As you inhale, you can extend the right arm up overhead. Choose to stay here or begin to kick into the left hand. As you begin to shift the weight forward, making your way into your dancer. A few breaths here, good focus. See if you can use your gaze to help with the balance. Allowing it to get a little wobbly, a little messy. And as things get a little messy, can you continue to stay even through the breath, even through the mind? Slowly begin to unwind. We'll step the left foot forward, release the bind. And tree pose. Right foot to the inside of the left leg. Sole of the foot below or above the knee. Again, not pressing directly on that knee joint. Hands come to heart center to begin. And when you feel rooted down, option to continue to expand out. So maybe opening up through the arms. You can lift your gaze. Maybe even play with closing the eyes. Just notice how that feels experimenting, exploring here with that uncertainty. When you feel about even, you can point the knee towards the front of the room and step the feet together, Tadasana. We'll close here with a final breath. Press into the feet. As you inhale, lengthen up, take that breath all the way up to the top, sip in a little more air. And open mouth, let it go. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my practice with you today, and I hope to see you tomorrow for day 6.